Hello and welcome to Well Done Languages. My name is Sydney Weldon and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Today we're going to be doing the language tag. This tag was originally done by Miss Sewell 2010, so I will be putting her original tag in the description below, and without further ado, I'll get started on the questions. The first question is, what do you consider to be your native language? My native language is English. I have the most confidence in it. It's what I've been speaking for as long as I can remember, and I have a lot of experience speaking English. So yes, it is definitely my first language, and it's my native language. The second question is, what was your first language learning experience? Technically, my first language learning experiences were in second grade. When I was in second grade, there was this puppet show that I used to watch before my classes started, where it was about a wolf and a cow, and they spoke Spanish with each other, and they would have conversations, and we were apparently supposed to learn Spanish from that. I vaguely remember what the puppet show was about, but I never really paid attention because I was half asleep, and then I realized that the entire world spoke more than just English and Spanish, and I asked my mom one day, what language do they speak in France? And she said they speak French, and ever since second grade I've wanted to learn French, and so my mom bought some French CDs, and I listened to French CDs in the car whenever I would go on road trips with her or something. So yeah, that's a pretty interesting experience, I guess. Third question is, what languages have you studied and why did you start them? I have studied French, Spanish, Russian. I studied French because I want to go to France, and I've wanted to study it since I was in second grade, so I naturally took it when I was a freshman in high school. After French and realizing how much I loved French, I decided to study Spanish because Spanish is very similar to French, and I realized that my career is ESL, so Spanish would be very useful to me, and it was also pretty fun to learn in class. And I also decided to learn Russian because some of my family is from Russia, and I thought it would be a really cool idea to learn a language that's from my own heritage and learn something that isn't from my native alphabet, so that's where the Russian came from. Question 4 is, how does your personality affect how you learn languages? I consider my personality to be very creative, so whenever I'm not in school, I try to study languages in the most fun way possible. How I do that is I try to listen to as much of the language as possible, but I also try to use my languages in somewhat of a creative outlet. Like, I'll make a comic in French, or I'll make a video in Spanish, or something like that. So I feel like I have to do a lot of research in, like, not only basic sentence structure, but I also have to do research in slang and how the words are used and stuff like that for my videos. And I feel like my creative personality makes it more fun to learn and can make it more memorable. Question 5 is, do you prefer learning languages in a class or individually? I actually prefer learning languages in a class, surprisingly. The reason why is because you get a lot more immediate feedback from a teacher when you do a class because it's live and you're in real life and you have the book right there and you have someone to speak to that's literally right next to you, and your teacher's always there in case you want help. And yeah, it's a lot more fun to learn in a class because of all the people around you that you can get information from, and they can get information from you, and it's just a huge group effort, and you guys all end up being like this little family. And whereas when you study a language by yourself, it's kind of hard to get that immediate feedback, especially when it comes to speaking, and I guess it's kind of lonely in a way. and it's part of why I haven't been able to study Russian as well, because Russian is already a pretty difficult language to learn for an English speaker, and it's even more difficult when there isn't someone there to help you with how you pronounce your words or how a letter is really pronounced, because nobody's really there to tell you what it means or how it's said. So I definitely prefer a class, as nerdy as that sounds. Question 6 is, what are your favorite language learning materials? Well, besides the general class, my favorite language learning materials are YouTube videos, because you get to watch the person speak the language and you get context of what they're saying, and a lot of them is just saying the phrase or sentence itself, and then it's having like an English subtitle underneath, and it's kind of like having a class without actually having the class. So it's like the second best option to having a class in case you can't be in a class or you're on a holiday break, like right now for me, or any other time where you just can't learn a language in a non-classroom environment. Question 7. How much time do you spend actively learning per day or per week? Well, I'll be honest, absolutely honest. I learn a lot more when I'm in school. That's just me. Whenever I'm studying languages in school, I have about 5 to 7 hours of studying that language per week in both French and Spanish. So altogether, I usually have about 10 hours a week learning 2 different languages when I'm in school. And whereas in over the summer, to be honest, I get kind of lazy sometimes, so it kind of varies. It depends on if I'm making a video or if I'm actually watching like a Spanish YouTube video or something, and just whatever else is going on. But it kind of ranges depending on the week, and to be honest, I'm just going to be absolutely honest, I really need to study my languages more over this summer, because it's been kind of slacking off and I need to get better about that. I will be practicing Spanish as soon as I am done with this video, I promise. Number 8, what are your short-term and long-term language learning goals? Well, first of all, my short-term language learning goals is to not be so freaking lazy about it. I know I'm not in school, and summer is the dog days, and that's when everyone gets a little lazy, and I am no exception to that. I do get lazy over the summer, and my short-term language learning goal is to just at least dedicate some time every day to learning 1 or more of my languages every day, because it has not been going all that well. My longer-term language learning goals are, I definitely want more proficiency in Spanish. Like, I want to have more confidence when I speak it, and I just want to have more of more to say and more to talk about whenever I'm like ordering food in a restaurant, or I want to do an actual full-on video in Spanish and not have a giant script with me that I have to constantly ask someone to proofread to make sure I don't screw something up. I also hope to be more fluent in French and Spanish in the long term, and I also want to be pretty conversational level in Russian, just so when I can eventually, one of the places I want to travel when I'm older is I want to go to St. Petersburg and or Moscow, and I would like to be able to speak Russian, and I also want to really speak Russian in a Russian market in my state, and really be able to have a conversation and not just say "Я не говорю по-русски." The 9th question is, what is your favorite language? Oh my goodness, that is so hard to answer, because I love all the languages I am trying to learn in their own special little way, and like I just can't answer that. I love them all. Let's see. I like the fact that I know English because a majority of the world's population speaks English as their first or second language, and it's so useful, and I'm so glad I know it and that's my first language, and I don't have to stress out about learning it because I already know. I love French, love French, because I have so many great memories with it, and it's so pretty, and I really want to go to France, and I love French culture, so I'm so glad with the level I'm at with it right now, and I hope to get even better, and I have more confidence in getting better now that I have so much of it under my belt. I love Spanish just because the people that speak Spanish are so nice and understanding, and I love the way it feels when I say it. It's so passionate, and I love it. Just the way it sounds and how emotional it can be, and it's so familiar, and it's a pretty cool language. And I love Russian just because, like, I mean, of course it's really hard to say and really hard to read, but the people that speak it are just pretty cool, and it sounds cool, and it's really exotic, and oh man, Russian is just I love Russian too. I mean, I can't really say what my favorite is because I love them all in their own unique way, and they're just all really special to me. It's awesome. The 10th question is, what is the next language you want to learn? I don't want to start another language right now because I want to be more proficient in the languages already started. But if I had to pick, I would say Italian because it's already a Romance language, and I already have French and Spanish that I've studied before, so I feel like I'd be able to pick it up better. And additionally, Italian is just really fun to listen to, and the accents in English are just really funny to me, and I also really want to go to Italy as one of my travel destinations because I really want to go to Europe, and Italy borders France, so that would be pretty cool, and Italian is already pretty similar to Spanish, so I feel like I would pick up on it really well, and it just seems really fun, so I guess my answer to 10 is Italian. The final question is, what advice do you give to new language learners? Okay, well, first of all, don't be lazy, but the most important thing to me that I hope to get out of this is English learning, if you're doing it right, can be very connecting, not even just with being able to communicate with other people, but really connecting with yourself too, I guess, and to others on a more different kind of level. As Nelson Mandela put it, because I can't put it in great words right now, he said, if you talk to a man in his second language, you're talking to his mind. If you're talking to a man in his first language, you're talking to his heart. And that's just so true. Like, having another language, especially a really passionate and fluent one, to you, it becomes part of your soul. Like, it's very personal, and it's also very connecting, and it's a really magical experience once you hit a certain level in a language, and you can really learn much about yourself and about others through speaking that language. It's just really connecting overall, and it's awesome. And I hope that everyone gets to feel that way one day. And those are all the questions for the language tag. I'll be putting the questions in the description below as well as the original video. I hope you guys liked this video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!